When I was a child, my parents bribed me to stop sucking my thumb. They said that I could have whatever I wanted if I stopped. I asked for a dollhouse. I stopped sucking my thumb, and I got my dollhouse. Unfortunately, their funds must have been limited, as I didn't get the house with the lights and real-looking furniture in it that a girl would get, but instead received the metal house with the prefab pressed plastic furniture. I felt limited, even at that young age, because of the interior metal walls pictured many of the furnishings and appliances that were also supplied as detailless plastic 3D replicas. One had to place the furniture where it belonged. Liz, my husband Chris's mother, and his Nana Genevieve had collected dollhouse furniture for years, as Nana used to work in the toy department of Marshall Field's on State Street in Chicago. She had waited on such celebrities as Sammy Davis Jr., Pat Lawford, and many more. When Nana passed on and Liz took possession of all the houses and furniture, she had the dream of taking her favorite house and turning it into a showplace. What furniture she didn't use in this dream house, she wanted to sell on eBay, since most of the many boxes of the best quality dollhouse furniture were purchased at Marshall Field's State Street store when they still had one of the largest toy departments in Chicago between 1950 and 1960. Liz thought that her collection would be worth even more money than she paid for it. What furniture she didn't use in this dream house, she wanted to sell on eBay, since most of the many boxes of the best quality dollhouse furniture were purchased at Marshall Field's State Street store when they still had one of the largest toy departments in Chicago between 1950 and 1960. Liz thought that her collection would be worth even more money than she paid for it. Liz passed in 2004 and never got around to finishing her dream dollhouse or selling her huge collection of furniture and accessories on eBay. Chris and I took possession of the collection and went straight to work categorizing everything. We wanted to follow through with her dream. It's good that Liz died before she actually tried selling the furniture on eBay, as she would have found that her dream was nothing but a fantasy. After Chris and I had gone to the trouble of listing hundreds of small pieces of furniture, we did a search on the internet and found that dollhouse furniture does not seem to increase in value. The price then per piece is very similar to the price for the same piece now. With both our busy schedules, we just didn't think that the time it would take to try to advertise, sell, and ship all the miniature furniture would be worth the effort. Chris was bummed, but I got an idea. I decided to start with the largest dollhouse, the one that was her dream and had been wired with lamps and chandeliers, and turn it into an art piece. Of course, this is quite a departure from my usual painting, but since my childhood, I have always wanted to create the dollhouse I never had. I also loved Chris's mother very much. She was a good Polish woman who at first had problems with my and Chris's relationship. She talked to priests and read books after it seemed that Chris and I were into our 5th year or so, and that her son was gay to stay. She went from helping him out to helping us out. When Liz passed, it was not like losing a mother-in-law, but more like losing a mother. Even at the beginning of my relationship with her son, she was nothing but gracious. I have tried to create a house that would go beyond Liz's wildest dreams, but I have also turned it into a controversial art piece, more of a construction piece than just a dollhouse. The title is The Party, or The 25 Gays of Christmas. The subject is a retro 1970s gay-style Christmas party, which is being hosted by Aaron and Brick, a married couple in Wilmette, Illinois. The physical part of the project depends heavily on computer-generated 3D images for not only the party guest figures, but also for the house's floors and the tiled walls, as well as the exterior Unfortunately, some of the ceiling fixtures came with the house, and Aaron and Brick just couldn't afford to change them out after scraping the barrel to buy a house in Wilmette. Well, that's the story within the subject. There are also carpets on the ceiling of the master bedroom that I didn't remove. These were the concessions that I made, as they were the things that Liz Pohl and her mother had added themselves. I did put mirror tiles above the bed in the master bedroom. Other than that, all the walls in the house were white and the woodwork was unstained. The figures are molded out of black foam core and are wrapped in archival printed images created in a 3D computer program. The figures include not only Aaron and Brick, but all their individual guests as well, each with his own backstory. The rooms each have their own theme. The living room, entry hall, and stairs are the hub of the party. Aaron lounges on his chaise lounge, observing the rest of the room. Denzel, a wonderful performer in Chicago theater, sits on a chair near the desk, keeping a close eye on Jake and Jamal, who are sitting on the sofa together. Denzel has a thing for Jake and has heard some not-so-nice dirt on Jamal. Jake and Jamal are glued to the sexy dance that Jay is performing on the cocktail table, while Hun Young makes it rain dollar bills. Mark is enjoying the show as well, but he is more interested in Santa's reaction to his sitting on Santa's lap. Mark tends to fall for older men. No one but Aaron and Brick know the true identity of Santa, who insists on playing the jolly old man at every annual Christmas party. Rumor has it that he is a Hollywood star, as he brings extravagant gifts for all the guests. One of the activities of the party was to help decorate the Christmas tree. It's a great icebreaker, but once everybody flirts around the tree for a while, the project is always abandoned before the tree is even finished. Bruce, an artist and best friend of Aaron, waits with his cocktail near the front door for his best gal pal Mitzi to arrive. The dining room is where Edgar rules. He is an executive chef and caterer that insists he personally cater the yearly party rather than just be a guest. The table has been laid out with everyone's favorites, and Edgar takes a final look before he rings the buffet bell. Randy, a good friend of Edgar, hangs out with him as he studies the grandfather clock. Randy is an artist who creates art clocks and is known as the Clock King, spelled with 2 Ks. Meanwhile, upstairs, Cody, who is a surfer from California, is sitting on the guest room bed talking to Victor, a friend from Tennessee who he is staying with. He is talking to Victor through the bathroom door, wishing that he was Dominic and in the bathroom with him. Victor is a bit drunk already and doesn't realize that Cody is totally crushing on him. Dominic, who is primping in the bathroom mirror, listens closely to Colt gush over Victor. While all of this is going on, Dale, a ginger architect friend of Aaron and Brick from Joliet, Illinois, is becoming impatient, waiting to get into the bathroom and wondering what the fuck are they doing in there. The master bedroom, otherwise known as the blue room for the term of the party. In many mid-1970s gay parties, there was a blue room or sex room, and it was often the master bedroom. This is the room with the mirrored ceiling over the bed. Billy, a good old Hoosier boy, looks into the room with surprise and excitement. Carlos is laying on the bed as he discovers the mirrors on the ceiling and points it out to Tad. Tad works at a leather bar and is with his friend Cabe, who is trying to get some action started with Sebastian, who is a high school coach that is embedded deeply in his closet. Evan, who is laying next to Carlos on the bed, works for his parents' garden business in Munster, Indiana. Happily, he is attracted to Billy, who is also from Northwest Indiana and just entering the room. There is certainly a party going on in the kitchen. It's strip Monopoly, and it makes Edgar's job that much more difficult. Brick, Aaron's husband, a personal trainer, and his bowling team, the Centaurs, are in several states of undress. Brick seems to be winning the event, with his friend Andrew by his side, who is down to his bikini briefs. Trent, who is in construction, loves shots and a beer because he thinks he has to. He is laughing and pointing at Colt, since he thought that he would be the loser of a game where there really are no losers, if you think about it. So there is a synopsis of the subject and nature of the art piece. The physical nature of the exterior of the party house has changed greatly over the years as well. In the beginning, I was still thinking dollhouse, even though I was also thinking art construction. I created snow mounds with paper clay on a flowing base cut from wood. Years later, when I came back to the project, I thought, not dollhouse, definitely art construction. And then the pandemic happened, and we had to self-isolate. All of a sudden, I had time, and another level was added to the party's construction: sparkle and fantasy, as in a Kincaid Christmas sculpture. The exterior is now encrusted in acrylic gemstones and pearls to imitate Christmas magic. There is also 2 Bluetooth speakers hidden under the giant Christmas gifts in the yard. They are paired with a ScanDisc MP3 player that has a soundtrack to the party. So far, the price for materials for this project, including paper, furniture, house structure, ink, varnish, foam core, glue, paint, miniatures, etc., comes to over $3,000. I have one more figure to create, and then the party will be finished.